Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for Low Country Lunatics with your host, Chef Giuseppe from Apastioli and author of From Bars to Jars. We're going to get down, we're going to get real, talking food, faith, and fellowship every Friday on the Lunatic Network. Spill it out. All right, Lunatic listeners, we are here. Chef Giuseppe, your host. This is going to be a very special interview. We haven't done something quite like this before, but we're here with an incredible young man. He's got a really powerful testimony, and he's been welling up inside, wanting to get his story out there. And today is the day. Just out of nowhere, I said, "Hey, William, you got to come on the show. Let's get this out there." And so I just want to say thank you, William, for taking the time out of your day and having the courage to share your story. So what I want to do, I want to ask, let's go back to the beginning. When was that moment that you realized you needed help?
Long time ago. I didn't accept help until the age of 51. But it's like this. I was born into a family of alcoholics that were spiritually sick.
Mm-hmm.
And I lived my life that way. Self-will run riot, so to speak. Even being adopted into a family of Christians, at a young age, I learned just how to survive, to get my way. And, as life kept going, I made a whole lot of mistakes that ended me up in the mental institutions, jails, hospitals, hearing people say, if you live through the night, you'll never walk again. Those type of things that I didn't take serious. Actually, I took them serious. I just felt like I did not belong anywhere, and God was out for me. I was the reason why I was going to be the example to the world of what happens to bad people. Ran with that all my life. I really screwed my brain up thinking that way. But at the age of 51, after a year and a half in the program, AA program, which I am a grateful alcoholic today, and very grateful for that. It's as I started working the program, I still had that self-centeredness. I was still running from God, and I ran to everything else but Him until I came into the program. And what really set it off for me is, like I said, I've been working the program my way for a year and a half. It put me back in the hospital. At that time, I didn't have nothing to eat. I had barely enough disability to pay the rent where I was staying at. And, my sponsor told me to read the book. And in that book, it told me, the AA book, it said, your needs will be taken care of. And, I prayed at that time to a very vengeful God, thinking that bad things were still going to happen. And pretty much just got on my knees and said, listen, I'm here to do your will, hopefully. For a fact, I ain't got nothing left to eat in this house. You know where I'm at. And okay, my sponsor asked me to ask you for help, and that's what I'm doing. And doing that pray, it was suggested I do discipline myself each day on following the steps and the routines that were suggested. And 3 days later, after praying after the meeting, several people walked up to me and said, we're going to carry you to the grocery store. None of them knew that. Not one of them knew that. And that was the little bit of hope, the first time I actually believed that there was somebody that loved me out there in the universe. And, I just kept doing the next right thing by just smiling at people, holding the doors and stuff, taking the suggestions people were giving to me. mainly in service work. But as I did the service work and was doing what people were suggesting to me, I'm seeing a whole new world that is opening up to me, especially my way of thinking. That was very, very enlightening for me. When I knew for a fact nobody around me knew what I was talking about or what I was praying about. But
Mm,
yet there comes the blessing. And from there on, it was like I hit the ground and started running.
mm.
Because before then, I always, my personal self, I fell before I had a chance to fail. I'd done given up on trying to do anything right. It just wasn't going to happen.
And
Lo
where
and
did this?
behold,
Where did the rebellion and the self hatred and all these like morbid thoughts come from?
it started at the age of 6 when I was because I fearlessly and thoroughly look at my past. And that's why I know that my parents were drunks without a spiritual program.
Mm,
But at the age of 6, already with PTSD from physical, mentally, and sexually abuse by the hands of my own father.
wow.
At the age of 6, I'm in the orphanage, and the first time I heard anything spiritually about God, period, God, anything
Mm,
spiritual was they carried us to the church from the orphanage. And the first words I heard out of a group of old ladies was, bad things happen to bad people, good things happen to good people. Right then and
mm,
there is when this mind said, I'm doomed.
mm,
My thinking from then on was not right. Even though I had people in my life that I wasn't listening to, uh, I have regrets of that today, but I give them to God.
mm,
Because today I've learned lessons. It used to be I just looked at it and felt pity and all this emotional garbage that led me to suicidal thoughts.
mm.
Thinking that there's no sense in me trying not to wake up. Boy, I used to be so pissed off when I would wake up. Uh, but I got by listening to people. I beat myself down so much. I was just sick and tired of dying and being sick and tired.
Mm.
You know,
So
I'm not
that sounds like
perfect today.
you know that what you're describing sounds to me like hell on earth, which I've experienced too. And I think it takes that pain and suffering and walking around like a just like spiritually dead for so long until the pain gets great enough. And like you did, God, I don't really know what to believe, but I'm gonna trust in this program, and they're telling me to have you take it.
Yeah, it's mind blowing for me. It really is. Being able to look back in my past, and the way I used to think was, oh, I'll just poor pity me, like I've said, and thought, why should I even be here? Let me kill myself. Hell, I
Hmm.
couldn't do it right, and I know why I couldn't do it right because my higher power was not finished with me, and
Mm,
today I fully believe that. That's why I share because I care.
mm,
It's brought me into a group of like-minded people. And from what I've seen through my personal experience, spiritual, it's about the children.
mm,
It starts in the home. This is just my opinion. It starts in the home, and being that parent to your kid. Yeah, you can be the friends, but they need that discipline. I needed it.
yeah.
Because I was, just the way I was brought up, and then being adopted into a single male parent household without the mother, leaving the mother for another father.
Mm,
It's hard on a kid. That's
yeah.
why it's so important. I think I'm trying. I think it's very important for you to bond with your child. and keep that bonding going on in a spiritual way, with the discipline that needs to be provided. But a lot of positivity needs to be provided too. You know, because of me, my emotional balance was way out there. I
Mm.
knee jerk reactions. Oh, that was me.
Yeah.
But but today what I'm seeing, I'm still a child. I'm an adult
Mm.
orphan because I all my bloodline family.
Yeah, that's right. I've had those struggles too. Now, and it's so unfortunate, like what you're saying, that moment, like at 6 years old, and um, your first introduction to a spiritual life. They're saying, bad things happen to bad people, so you're internalizing that, and you know, now you're walking around with this, because bad things did happen to you. So you're saying to yourself, I must be bad. And that's the role that I guess, that you took on for the next 50 years or so.
Yeah,
Wow.
exactly. And I see so much in my past life now. Words matter. They truly do. How
Yeah.
you say words, especially to a small kid that's just now developing. We need to be careful. We live, we learn, and we try to pass it on for someone who is willing to learn, so to speak, to use it. And that's all I can do, really. Left up to God.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, something interesting, and I talk to my sponsor about this a lot, is quit playing God. He's constantly sending me that page saying, quit playing God, it doesn't work. Like, as much as we want to help everybody and let them have a little slice of what we have, if they're not willing, they gotta go through their own journey, right? Is that something that you've recognized?
Oh yeah, because the fact is I used to be in those homeless camps, but out around the camp, I'm by myself away from them because I didn't trust them, period.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt safe in numbers. So therefore, I was always slept at the back. That way, if anything started up, I had a way to run again. So that running from everything, I had to make a stand. I had to surrender myself. And
Yeah, it's like that fight or flight mode, right?
yeah, and that knee jerk reaction again. I had to be around positive people that were guiding me in the right way. Uh, when I decided to accept, I had to accept it because
So
there's so
so
many people. Go ahead.
So how long you been sober now?
Going. I started program 2019,
Okay.
and I'm like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm not a one chip wonder. But I'm making forward progress. I am not the same person I used to be. And it's opened up my mind, but most of all, my heart. Uh, and like I was saying, a bunch of us are adult orphans.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this fellowship has done for me. It's gotten me to be around a group of like-minded people, and some of them have grave emotional and mental disorders. I am one of those.
Mm.
And some of us need to be around each other that have the same like-minded thinking, so we can help each other. A lot of us don't even know how to make our beds today. Some of them don't know how to eat right. And being around a group like I'm blessed. God gave me a family that I was not
Mm.
aware He had done gave it to me, and still until I look up and they're living in the same house with me, renting the same space. You know, but we work together. We we try to help each other, and we try to help those that can't help themselves in
do
a
you
way
do you
that's
remember
not hurting us. Go ahead.
do you remember that first day that you walked in and found that hope? Can you describe that?
Uh, I had just gotten, matter of fact, I was at the Charleston Center, the Darlington County, didn't, where I was from, Hartsville, South Carolina, where I was adopted and grew up, did not have a homeless shelter, there. And, when I was homeless and I went to Florence and everything, when I decided I needed help, when I reached out, uh, some people carried me to the Charleston Center. They kept me there for 48 days because I didn't have a place to go. They kept asking for extensions from Medicaid, and
Mm.
Medicaid kept doing it until finally Medicaid said, "Hey, you've done taught him everything you need to teach him." And I knew that too, and they knew it. They were just helping me try to find a place, and everything happened in one day. When I was being kicked out, a place opened up for me, and it happened to be right next door. And I was not aware of this. When the van carried me from the treatment center to where I was going to be staying at, when we pulled in the driveway, the house next door to where I was going to be staying at was an AA meeting building. And when I get there and take my stuff out the van and they leave, I'm in a place I don't even know where the hell I'm at. I don't know nobody. I don't know nothing. I am completely lost. And when I saw the AA symbol up there, I walked into the building because the man that I was supposed to talk to hadn't made it there yet. And you know what? Sitting in the room at the 12:30 meeting were a whole lot of women that were bringing the message into the program that I just finished. And it was like I'm home. I knew people when I was completely lost and walked through the door. I was like, "Hey, you was just at where I was at. You
Mm.
brought the message to me." And the
Wow.
signs, the signs that I see today, where I was being led, and
Mm.
I'm grateful I allowed myself to be led today, and I wouldn't change anything in my life, period, to
Wow.
feel the way I feel today. It's all the turmoil, the PTSD, the memories that should not be there. I can deal with those today without saying, "Okay, where's the nearest liquor store? Let me grab that needle. Let me grab that
Mm.
bag of inhalants." I ran to anything that I could escape reality to. And today, Alcoholics Anonymous taught me, especially on the third step. You know, uh, I could not do the fourth step because I kept skipping the third step because I really believed there was no hope for me. But
Mm.
today, there's hope for everybody. And
That,
I just hope people see that.
well, you know what? I was just
If
getting
I can
chills, man.
say something,
When you're talking about that, like those ladies and how you felt like, connected. You felt connected to people for like really the first time. I get that because that happened to me in the psych ward. So, like an 80-something-year-old woman was coming carrying the message, and I didn't think we are gonna have anything in common. There's like there's nothing this lady's gonna be able to tell me, you know. But sure enough, when she started describing the feelings and the emotions and some of the traumas that she went through, I'm like, wow, okay, there's something to that, and that's God, doing for me what I can't do for myself. And something else you said too, like that third step. It's like after you've taken the third step, like officially, there's no more coincidences. There's no accidents. There's no mistakes. Everything in this moment is by design.
mind blowing.
So when was it?
Truly is.
So how long into the program was it before you really started like really expanding, your perceptions started changing.
A year and a half into the program, like I said, I was working the program by myself. But the good thing is my higher power had me exactly where I needed to be. Even though I was sitting in there, not fully opening up and lying. Uh, well, I wasn't lying because nobody asked me, "Are you drinking?" They
Right.
never asked me that. They just said, we suggest you don't drink before
Hmm.
the meeting, and hopefully you stay sober for 24 hours. But in the beginning, like I said, I was going to 4 meetings a day because it was right next door. But during that time, I was still drinking, you know.
Yeah.
But those 4 hours that day, I wasn't drinking. And that
Mm.
led to, you know, for me, it was baby steps. I wish, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And for it, we all have our own path.
Yeah.
If
Yeah. It takes what it takes.
we perseverance on those 12 steps, shit will happen. I guarantee you that. Not
So
only
a
did I
year,
get, go ahead.
so a year and a half, that's when you like, you really got sober. You really got
It
serious
put,
about,
yeah, me working the program around, I was there in the middle. I was not taking suggestions. They knew that. And thank God my higher power gave me my first sponsor that saw all that shit, that was coming to the meetings with me, that kept calling me and encouraging me to tell him the truth of what I was thinking at the time and what I was doing at the time. He never gave up on me. And that was my higher power. Because
mm,
a year and a half into the program, being around alcoholics, doing what was suggested except not drinking. I was doing everything else but not drinking. And when it put me back in the hospital, my sponsor come pick me up. He knew the shape I was in. And when he carried me to the hospital, because I couldn't even walk, uh,
wow.
I got in there, and after they got the phenobarbital in me and everything, I've got a picture of it. Why I took that picture that day, man upstairs. But I got a picture of me in the hospital bed with my sponsor next to me, praying for me, reading the big book. And he looked at me as soon as I started getting I wasn't shaking and feeling so bad because of the phenobarbital. He said, you see what working the program yourself does.
Mm,
Let's try it with a we program. And that right there is when I
wow.
took it fully inside of me that I know I might fail on certain things, but I know if I get my ass up instead of laying there in my self waller and suicidal thoughts and me shit, I could move forward from my emotional bondage, so to speak. And that's what happened. Am I
Yeah.
perfect at my emotional bondage today? No, shit still happens. I still have nightmares and daymares of PTSD. Certain things will trigger me, but I can handle that today because of this program. Most of all, because of my higher power, God, Jesus Christ. Uh,
So those moments pop up, and so you know exactly what to do now. It's like now you've been
now,
trained, you've been conditioned. So it's like,
perseverance.
yep, exactly. And just don't give up on yourself is basically what I'm hearing. That's the
Yeah.
message. Hey, so listen, something happened recently. This whole conversation, me and you talking like this, this came up actually a couple weeks ago. As a matter of fact, I believe it was November 10th. What happened November 10th that you want to talk about? What happened that day that kind of started this whole chain of events?
Well, actually, Joe, once my mind opened up, and see, in the orphanage, it goes back to the orphanage again. I prayed to have a family. I wished for a family, a bonding family. And that was the last time I prayed to God because of other situations. Me, it's all me. But all of a sudden, I looked around me at the age of 53 while I was in the program, and saw that my family are a group of like-minded people. Blood has nothing to do with this. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and we formed that bondship, the three of us. Uh, they have some very grave emotional and mental disorders that I went through, and I know that there's hope, and they know it's hope. There's hope, and we we're disabled for one thing, physically and mentally, uh, but we know that we can do something today. We can try to do things today, and we're we're not, so to speak. We got together. We became a family. We are a family, and our goal is to you know, get a place of our own, hopefully with an extra bedroom or two, that we can, during our meetings and stuff, we find like-minded people, because there are a lot of people out there today that are adult orphans.
Right. Hey, listen. Hey, we got some things going on in the chat. So Miss Sharon, want to give a shout out. Thank you everybody for watching too. I forgot that this was going live. I'm so in tune with what's going on here. Me and William, and there's people saying they're
Cool.
inspired. Pluck Hopkins, shout out to Pluck. We learn a lot from each other. Pluck. William can't see these comments, but listen, there's a lot of love in this chat, and I just want to say thank you guys for real. Um, so back to September 10th. So that shook the world. Okay, everybody felt something, whether you were a follower of Charlie Kirk or not. That did something, and it opened my mind, right, to stop being afraid to speak out against hate and violence and all this stuff. Like I can't sit on the sidelines and watch anymore. I have to. And thank God, thank you God for giving me this platform to be able to talk to other individuals about how they felt when situations like that happened. That was such a tragedy. What personally, but this affected you personally, didn't it, William?
Well, Charlie affected me personally several years ago when somebody introduced me to him, and but at that point in time, I was still on step 4, and still not fading between me and my God, my higher power. Charlie gave me the strength when I started already looking back in the past. Hey, my higher power's always been there. The reason why this shit happened to me is because he happened to bless us with free will, and they
Mm,
chose to do what they did. I can't, I forgive them for that today. Do I forget it? No, but I can deal with that. It doesn't have the control it used to. But yeah, Charlie showed me that you can stand up. I considered myself a coward because I wouldn't, I'd take the blame even though I didn't do it.
right.
That type of shit. And today, he taught me that by just watching him, he inspired me. By the way he carried on his, I guess some people would call it, very high emotional, uh, conversations with people that hated him. And
Yeah.
he was able to sit there and let them speak their mind without
Yeah.
bitch slapping them. I should, that's what I would have done in the older
I,
days.
you know what I noticed with him is the tolerance and the grace. Like he's getting bombs thrown at him left and right, and he's staying calm. I hadn't seen him lose his cool, and
Yeah.
I can't say that I wouldn't. I know myself. My temper and my anger is one of my greatest defects. I'm afraid of my temper, and I don't think I could take those criticisms and the insults and that hatred. It's just like,
Well, I fully believe we can today if we keep in a constant communication with God. He gives me the courage. And
mm,
Charlie was an example. He is a messenger. We are all messengers. What message are we carrying?
mm,
And Charlie showed me that we can carry a message with a disciplined, firm stand on God, and not let the other individual, deceive me, so to speak. Because
yeah,
by
yeah, it's
telling me that
powerful.
this is wrong and that, that it's Charlie
Yeah.
opened my life up to a more spiritual awakening than what I already had. And it keeps
Mm,
growing. My
yeah.
spiritual awakenings keep growing. And I'm grateful for that. As long as I put the action in it. I
Right.
have to do this.
Well, you're responsible now. You have a responsibility, right? To yourself
Yes.
and to the people that love you. And see, for me, like the people that love me, I thought were just trying to control me and didn't want me to feel good. I thought drinking and doing the drugs was making me feel good, making me feel normal. And that's how I coped with life because, like you said, the PTSD.
They took my God from me. It's what they were trying to do because I believed in anything that took me away from reality except God. I
Mm.
chased them all. And there's a few things I didn't chase, but I know better than to chase those things today. So, it's a mind opening experience for me, but most of all, it opened my heart up. And
Mm.
that being able to love myself, I get to love other people.
Hey, let's talk about your routine. You talk about discipline. A routine is kind of like a discipline too. That obedience. What do you do every day? What are you putting into your well, so to
So
speak?
it was perseverance in the beginning there because, like I said, I'm, uh, I am, I have been into quite a few state hospitals, institutions. My mindset, like I said, used to be, dislocating my shoulder to get out of the straitjacket, to laugh at the orderlies as they're coming in the room, knowing they're going to shoot me up with Thorazine, so I could do that Thorazine shuffle all day. Yeah, that type of thinking. But today it, it, it's it, it's just amazing that through looking at my life and listening to other people share their testimonies, you know, uh, all things are possible. All things are possible. Uh, and it. I don't know how to put it in words. It's just that the discipline that was suggested to me. Like I said, I do have some grave emotional mental disorder, but I'm not on any
what
psychotic drugs today.
what are the specific actions? Like, is it
Well,
talking to
let me.
others, reading? Go ahead. Yeah.
Well, yeah, well, see what it was is through my manic depression. For some reason, I always woke up around 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'd go ahead and get drunk and everything. And do because I was back in reality. I had to get out of it. Today, when I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I have a routine. I'm already hurting because I have chronic pain. So when I wake up in the morning, because of Mother Nature calling me, I'm cussing going to the bathroom. Used to be cussing because I'm hurting.
Hmm.
Today I am grateful. I wake up, yeah, I have that moment of, okay, my body's telling me I hurt. Well, let me get on to doing what was suggested of me to do. And that is I do my morning meditation. I pray and I meditate. And then I jump on a meeting. I keep around like minded people, positive people. I have the responsibility to myself today that if there's negativity going on, if I can't, if through my experience, if by reading the room, if there's nothing I can say to the individual, which a lot of times you can read the individual, he ain't going to listen to a damn thing you say by just looking and listening to him because of our past experience. So, I have to give them the same grace God gave me. He's going to win on it. If he wants it, he will find it. All I can do is be a positive, uh,
Lead by
encouraging person.
example. Right. Lead by example. Yeah. It's an action. So here's what I see. Okay. Here's what I see. I'm gonna give you my assessment. Oh, William, around these individuals you're talking about. You're doing service. You're cleaning up. You're making sure everything's tidy. You're thinking about the welfare of the group ahead of yourself. You're putting others first. You're putting the group first, and that's inspiring to me. I just want you to know that, and I know I'm not the only one who notices it. So you bring such value to us, and that is the we. By you being of service the way you are, it brings us together.
I'm grateful to hear that, Joe. At one time, a compliment was like sticking a knife in my heart and twisting it. When somebody said, "Thank you for doing it," what the fuck you talking about? Thank me. You don't know who the hell I am.
Right?
But
Same.
that mindset changed as I got closer and closer with the God of my understanding. And like I said,
Wow.
Charlie helped out a lot on that. But I had to accept the fact that I had to put trust in other people. I didn't trust myself, so why was I going to trust you? And
And when you
what I learned, a hard lesson I learned in this program: if you want love, you're going to give love. If you want
Mm,
trust, you're going to give trust, but you're going to give first. Is the
mm.
way I look at it.
So this happened to me too, William. I love that you just said that because it wasn't until I started trusting myself and letting other people in, and before I couldn't trust anybody, like you said. Well, once I started doing that, it's like I could trust everybody. Really, I give everybody a shot now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yes, sir. And that's where uh, that's where it comes to. I give everybody a shot, but by me giving you that shot, is it hurting me? So therefore, I have to learn that certain.
Well, discernment, right? The
Yeah,
discernment that they talk about in the Bible, knowing the difference between good and evil. Like our antennas go up now. Like you could pretty much tell, especially from where we came from. Like you can't bullshit a bullshitter, you know.
yeah.
So if you're full of shit, I'm gonna smell it from a mile away, you know.
Well, I don't have to tell them that today, though.
Right. Right. Hey, they got their own higher power. He's gonna show them. He's gonna tell them one way or
Oh
another.
yeah, oh yeah. Uh, yeah, that I fully believe. We reap what we sow, and
Mm,
I've got a lot of reaping that I've done, and probably some to come. But I will
hmm
gratefully take it today.
So
Uh,
listen, what do you see? Like, what are you striving for now? Do you have any goals? Anything? Any aspirations? Stuff you want to do that alcohol kind of robbed you from, like desires and hobbies and.
uh, Actually, I'm grateful that I was adopted into a Christian family that he took me to a lot of places. I got to see I got a lot of experience that most kids would not have had. But for me today, what I'm shooting is a nice size house for a group of like-minded people can
Mm,
stay at. A group of adult orphans, so to speak, can be a family together and have an extra room or two to where we there we can accept someone into our family to try to help them grow too. But most of all, for self sufficient
yeah,
place,
yeah.
doing things on our own. Like I said, we're a bunch of adult children. But the thing is we're aware of that and we accept that today, and we try to grow, and that's what we're doing. And hopefully, one day we'll have, and we're working on that now. Uh, we coming up trying to come up with a deposit to put down on a place. See, we can't even look for a place until we know. That's what this program has taught me. You have to do things before you do things.
Hey, so listen, I want to tell you something, and just a suggestion: go find the place, go find the ideal spot that you have in your mind, right, and find out the information about that spot. What's it going to cost? Because until you have that number, now you don't know what you're working towards.
Well, oh, no, we got that number.
Okay.
It's like this, Joe. Though for me, Joe, God has been when I let go. Just how do you think me and you are talking?
Right.
He
Right.
led me. This is not about me now. This is not about me. But my experience is He's led me ever since I surrendered. I get to listen to that intuition, my conscience, whatever you want to call
Mhm,
it. There's
mhm.
something there that I never listened to before. There's a lot of other voices in there that I listen to a whole lot, but there's that quiet one back there that I'm listening to today that's drowning out the negative bullshit in my head.
Right. Sure.
But yeah. But we know, I'm just going by life today, and that is, if I want to get a place before I even start looking and talking about, you're going to need the money there. And that's
Yeah.
what we're working on the deposit now, because once we get the deposit up, our monthly checks will cover that. So, we're living and we're growing. And it,
Let me ask you this: how can people help you? Do you have a like a website or a link or something? How can people donate to the cause? Because you're going to
uh,
help a lot of people by doing this.
okay, Sharon might be able to give you the information. It's a turn it GoFundMe page or something
Okay.
like that.
Okay.
In the beginning, the young lady, like I said, we ask for help and God shows us a way. And this lady that I'm talking about, Sharon, she's been very inspirational. She is my sister today, and I love her to death. And she's the one that helped me in the beginning by getting a GoFundMe page. 6 years ago, no,
Wow.
5 years ago, and I'm still driving the same moped that I needed to get around with, and that's all
Wow.
because God helping me. And like it says in the book, the AA book and the Bible somewhere, I haven't gotten all that reading yet, and I'm working on it. But if we keep going forward, and for me, it was letting up. It says in there, to God, myself, and to another human being, the
Hmm.
exact nature of our wrong. Until I brought other people into my me and God program, uh, God didn't really show up until I brought other people in and
Hmm.
started talking to them, being honest about my past experience. And but most of all, listening to them talk to me. I can feel the pain, the empathy, but I know how to
Mm.
cut it off today, so to speak. And
Yeah.
it's just just mind blowing when the mind opens.
Definitely.
If that
So,
makes any sense, Joe.
is there anything else you want to say before we get out here? We've been on a roll here for 45 minutes, and if there's anything else,
Uh, just that I hope someone hears something that will help them. But most of all, what I wanted to break out is it's about accountability today. And the way I look at it, you know, I encourage people to look at my background. I'm willing to sign any release forms for the four states I've had operations in, the two states that DSS and jails and stuff and other hospitals. I am grateful, and I will gladly sign any release form for you to look at that, because today it's about action, and it's the testimony of where we come from and where we're
mm,
going. And I encourage people because my, like Motley Crue used to say in the '80s, my heart's like an open book for the whole world to see today. And I don't mind sharing it at all, the bad times, but most of all, the good times, which more of them are happening each day by opening up the people and having that open mind, sitting down and listening. I do a lot of work with some homeless people, and most of the work I do there is letting them talk to me. That's all.
mm,
I don't
wow.
tell them what to do, anything. They talk to me and then they come back. Uh,
You know what? Hey, listen, man. This is a beautiful story. You have a beautiful spirit, a big spirit for such a little guy. You've got a big spirit, and you light up the room when you walk into it. And I'm just so grateful for you that you're in my life today. And thank you
God
for
brought us.
being part of this. Yeah,
God don't make mistakes. We
that's right.
do.
That's right. That's
By
right.
not following. But yeah, something just popped up there. Yeah. It's a GoFundMe page, and it's my name, William James S. Menius. Uh, And if you have any problem, get in touch with me. I'm on Facebook and all that good stuff. But Joe, thank you. I really do. But most of all, thanks to the people that are here and listening. And like I said, don't go on my word. Check it out,
Mm.
please.
Listen,
But
I'm very.
like I said, we're hoping to get in a little piece of land to be able to keep carrying the message to the ones who are grave emotionally and mentally sick at that moment, because I know for a fact, this is my personal opinion, the grave emotional mental disorders I had is because I was spiritually sick.
Mm.
That's the God's honest truth there. I was not listening to the right voice in my head talking until somebody showed me how
And
to
listen,
do
no,
it.
nobody's too far gone. Nobody. There's
No,
hope for if somebody is really willing and they want the help and they reveal that to somebody like us,
no.
there's help available. So I'm going to put all the links for your GoFundMe into the chat and into the episode when it airs on YouTube and all that stuff. This is not the end of William's story. Anybody that
Oh,
missed
no.
it is going to get to hear it. And we're going to have you back on too to do some check-ins, maybe in a couple months or whatever. But again, thank you so much, and stick around. I'm gonna play our closing commercial for anybody that needs help. There is help available, and here it is. Thank you again, William.
Thank you all.
If alcohol builds a wall around you that doesn't let you see where you're going, that keeps you feeling isolated and alone, that makes you feel hopeless, know this: we're here to help if you want us to. It's never too early or too late to ask for help with a drinking problem. Alcoholics Anonymous, there is a way out. For more information, visit aa.org and download the Meeting Guide app.